Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another video. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So, recently on the channel, I've been asked about copyright claims, copyright blocks, all that kind of stuff, because it has been a hot topic on YouTube with particular channels, namely the Professor of Rock, saying that he might have to stop making particular videos because the copyright claims are so numerous and it takes a very long time to try and dispute each individual claim. So anyway, what I'm going to do is bring up on screen a reel from Instagram, and this is from Top Music Attorney. And Top Music Attorney made a video on one of my videos ages ago when I was talking about, fraud on YouTube, copyright claims, all that kind of stuff. And of course, the Top Music Attorney channel and the Instagram account, know a lot more than me about the law. And ever since that video that was made, I have followed Top Music Attorney on, Instagram, and I get these reels. So it's great if you guys are interested in keeping up to date with different court cases or different filing of court cases from one, and it's all music related, from one company against another company, and especially AI and the things that are going down at the moment with that, because I've said that that is definitely a blurred line as to what the legalities are to do with AI. But anyway, you can go and check out Top Music Attorney on YouTube and on Instagram, and I'll leave the links in the description below. So I will let this play through and then give my thoughts on this and some other things and potential implications for YouTube channels in the future. Let's have a listen.
Whoa! Alright, so Fantano and Rick Beato, they've both been talking about how major record labels are abusing the YouTube copyright system by putting claims on creators' videos. And Fantano kind of spilled a huge thing that major labels don't want you talking about in his video. He kind of starts by talking about Rick Beato, and he's like, look, Rick's talked about this for a while. He kept on getting these claims and sometimes strikes because he would just try to educate his audience, use a very small snippet, and he said for a long time that he did not fight back. Well, the update now is Rick has a guy who's fighting these claims all the time, and Fantano goes on and shares his own experience, and he's like, samesies. But what he said at the end of the video, so very casually, major record labels are routinely ripping off creators, and if you want to make money as a creator, the only way to do so is basically to do a backdoor deal. Or specifically, as he put it, to get a check from the label, you need to promote and speak positively about their upcoming artists. They're using YouTubers to create a positive narrative around up-and-coming artists to make it seem like there's all this organic buzz happening. And I can tell you this is not something that major record labels want you to know that they're doing. So as Fantano kind of put it, it's a pretty crappy system right now on YouTube where if you get a monetization claim, you can fight it. But if you fight it, you might end up getting strikes. You might end up getting your channel deleted. Not because there are legitimate claims, but because these major labels have now kind of made this a business tactic. I don't know. This is pretty crazy. Drop a comment down below.
So, I mean, wow. I mean, that's a complicated situation when you're talking about legitimate claims on YouTube. It is something that I've referred to many times as to how you can ever police it, especially when you're talking about fair use and, fair dealings, as we call it here in the UK. I mean, I've said about other channels that there'll be maybe a vocal coach or a producer who is watching a performance that is clearly, to me, it is clearly not what it is portraying. So it is potentially misleading the viewer. And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about lip syncing, miming as we call it here, but post-pitch corrected vocals on live performances so that they sound absolutely perfect or calibrated to A440 standard pitch equal temperament. And it is clear as day when you're listening to it that the voice and the vocals, potentially backing vocals as well, have been edited so that it sounds better than it actually sounded during the actual live performance. So I've seen lots of those kinds of videos, and they're generally more reaction videos, but the person will start playing the song and the performance will start, the vocals will kick in, and they'll listen to it and then they'll stop it. And I'll think, oh, here we go, they've sussed it, that it's not really what is going on. And then they go in and say, oh, I love this. Listen to their voice, how amazing it is, how accurate they are. And they'll start going into everything. But I think, well, no. I mean, especially, I think vocal coaches should know when a voice they're listening to has been calibrated to a particular tuning system. I mean, that's just my opinion, but having learned to sing myself from scratch is something that I can hear straight away when somebody's voice is calibrated to A440. But anyway, now talking about this, it might mean that because creators, whoever they may be, don't want to get copyright claims or copyright blocks or strikes, they might be deciding to play the game of pretending that they don't know it's happening, and therefore giving that particular performance their endorsement as a coach, and or just, there are lots of reaction channels, but I'm talking about the vocal coach community here, really, that they might be choosing to ignore that to therefore be able to potentially make a bit more money on their channel and just turn a blind eye to the fact that what we're hearing is not actually what happened, and for everyone now to assume that it is a live vocal that's unedited. There might be some creators who do have a particular price where they say, oh, well, okay, I will lie, I will mislead people, I will follow the major label agenda if I can make money from it, and if I make that amount of money, then yes, I'm fine doing that. So, I mean, it's a really interesting development, because now I'm starting to question, well, how many channels out there might already be doing this kind of thing? So when everything kind of fell off the cliff a few months ago, and we had people messaging saying that they had subscribed, and then the next day they were unsubscribed, there's some really weird stuff going on. But I think it probably got to the point where I was featuring major labels, artists, and pointing out some things that they didn't want pointing out. So everything kind of fell off the cliff. Interestingly, things started to pick back up again from videos that weren't signed artists on major labels. They were just other performances, and that was just totally accidental because I'm just working through the requests that I am sent. So, as you guys will know, recently we've looked at Barry Manilow and Oasis, very recently. So I just worked my way through that list. And whatever's happening, like the Air Supply video that I did as well, or videos that I did, whatever's happening, I'm going to point it out. And whether labels see that as a good thing or a bad thing, they definitely see it as a bad thing, me being honest about it, but definitely bad thing when I'm pointing out things they don't want people to know about a particular live performance that might have cost people quite a lot of money to go and watch. But thinking about this whole situation and the possible future implications of it, it means that on YouTube you might have creators who are looking at videos, reacting to videos, and not being honest about what they're watching or what they know to be false, because it is incentivized by money, by potentially making more money from your channel. Now, the problem with that is, in the future, if you're watching lots of different channels, potentially they're all lying to you, and you don't know that they're lying to you because you don't know that they've got a price and they've been bought out by major labels who want them to say particular things about their artists, and like has just been said, they'll generate a buzz on YouTube, especially with larger channels. But anyway, as you guys know, on my channel, I'm going to keep everything as it is, just straight up, and tell it how it is, because I've got Patreon, and that's what I will fall back on. That's the foundation of everything that I do. Patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. And thank you everybody for your support over there. So if everything went to pot on YouTube, that's where I will be. Let's just say, for example, in an alternate universe where I have no ethics and no backbone and all that kind of stuff, no professional integrity, or just any integrity at all. Imagine that they said to me, right, we want to pay you this amount of money to then say that everything's great on your channel and this artist is great. In my analysis videos, they are cross-referenceable. So people can go and do the same test that I'm doing to see exactly what's going on. So if they said, right, say something that you're really good about our artist, I would have to say to them, but how? How can I say that this isn't auto-tuned when I'm showing on screen the objective data that it is? And I guess I would start to have to manipulate data and, you know, get pitch graphs from other places, from other songs, and pretend that was the song I'm looking at. So it'll be, yeah, just, well, you'd notice straight away, because you'd say, well, hang on, your videos have changed quite a lot, because now everything is amazing, and even though it sounds exactly like it's been pitch corrected and it is calibrated at A440, your graphs aren't showing that it's calibrated. So yeah, this is the thing with the objective data, objective information. I'm not creating it, I'm just showing what it is. So yeah, for my channel, you're always going to get honesty. Maybe it's something that's more relevant to channels who aren't showing evidence of anything and just giving their opinion on something, not knowing. Potentially it could be that they don't know what they're watching, but I think certainly professionals and people who are in the field should know what they're listening to first, before then telling people who are watching a channel what they think about it and their opinion of it. You've got to base your opinion on as much information as you can get about that particular performance, which for me means knowing whether the voice you're hearing is real or not, whether that was the voice that was created. Because yeah, if it isn't and if it wasn't, that's a deal breaker for me as somebody who analyzes performances. If what you're watching and what you're hearing don't sync up, in that what you're hearing didn't happen, that's a fundamental problem for me. I guess put the whole situation under a different, or in a different light, but under the spotlight that things might be going on, or might in the future be going on in the background with YouTube and creators not getting copyright claims because they're talking about artists and bands in a positive way. Obviously, it's not very good news for those like myself that might just be pointing out what's going on, and some people view that as negative, but it's just objective. And just to finish with, that on my channel, I know that I've got over 2,000 videos, and I've only ever been officially challenged by Bryan Adams' official channel, and I only found out about that after it all happened, and after a verdict had been reached about this particular challenge, and the request for it was a takedown request of my video that I made. And yeah, YouTube let me know after the fact that they had independently reviewed my video and decided in my favour that what I was doing was absolutely fine to be talking about and to be showing online. And that was great for me to know that they are reviewing what I'm looking at. And I guess that does go against the grain, that normally, and in this particular case, and now this is interesting because I haven't thought about this yet, but in that particular case, it's a major label challenging one of my videos and requesting YouTube take it down. YouTube then looked at my video and decided, oh no, it's fine and it falls under fair use. That's what they stated, I think, to the official Bryan Adams channel, and it wasn't taken down, so they just had to, deal with it. What I'm thinking is, if I were not presenting objective data that can be cross-referenced by everybody, would my video still be up? Because thinking about it now, and everything that we've just discussed in this video, I don't think it would. I think that I've backed YouTube into a corner to have to support me, because they might have got somebody to do the same test and think, oh, he's not lying. It is true. So what can we do? You can't take down a video, because then I would argue against it. And taking down that video, they would know that they're taking down something that is fair use. So if that then went to court, YouTube might be under the spotlight for removing something that, shouldn't have been removed, because that video is totally legitimate. It's totally objective. It is just stating a fact about a particular vocal performance. And proving that fact with objective data. But anyway, that is tonight's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. As always, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, because it's certainly an interesting topic to discuss for the future implications on YouTube for creators. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!